This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I am delighted to be joined by heavyweight Christopher Lovejoy over Zoom. Christopher, how are you? How are things going?
Oh man, everything is good, man. I'm just training. If you notice, I look a little funny because I shaved all my facial hair off. It's temporarily to grow back, but everything is good. I'm in good health. I'll be free to fight May 5th this year, so I got like almost 2 months to get ready for whatever I got coming. So I'm just going with the flow, just chilling.
Christopher, talk to me about your plans for this year. What do you have in store? What would you like to achieve?
I'm just basically just be in the best shape of my life. I'm looking to come over to the UK, fight on the Matchroom show, shock the world, show everybody what Christopher Lovejoy is about. And after that, I'm looking to go for a world title. You know, I'm here to stay. I'm not doing no playing. I'm coming in aggressive. No hesitation. Let's get it.
Christopher, talk to me about that. You've mentioned you want to come over to the UK. For most UK boxing fans, they will recall your last visit when you was meant to face Dave Allen, and kind of a whole host of issues came on the back of that. Can you just reflect on what happened with that and surrounding, obviously, Don King pulling that fight?
Well, long story short, man, I was in a contract with Mr. King. I thought everything was okay to go. I spoke with Mr. King before I came over there. I spoke with my manager at the time before I came over there. And I thought that they were just trying to give me some more money. They thought that I was being underpaid. That wasn't the case for me. I was coming to win the fight. I didn't care what the purse was. And basically they didn't come to an agreement. Matchroom Boxing and Don King didn't come to an agreement, and they stopped my fight. So here we are. I'm looking to come back without a contract. Nobody's gonna save my victim. Let's get it.
So with that in mind, then, have you and Don King parted ways now?
Well, we can't really part ways until May 4th this year. That's when our contract expires. That's it. That's all.
How frustrating a period was that for you, Christopher? Because I know you'd have seen it at the time. A lot of kind of the UK fans were taking their frustrations out on you because of the fact the fight didn't go ahead. What was it like for you to receive those criticisms?
Man, it is what it is. I mean, it didn't bother me. I felt the fans. I understand when you build something up and then you take it away from them. It's like, you promise someone something, you don't give it to them. So they were a bit frustrated, whether they want to see Dave Allen fight or want to see me fight. However it was, you got to build up for a pretty good fight, and it doesn't happen. So you got to blame somebody. And a lot of people thought I was the one to blame. I wasn't the one to blame. It wasn't my fault. I really came to fight. I thought everything was in order. And if I knew anything like this was going to happen, I would have never hopped on a 10-hour flight to come over there, to sit in the room for 8 days. I would have never did that. Like I said, I just thought that the people I had in place was going to take care of everything. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. They let me down. And, we're moving on from that situation. No harm, no foul. And I'm coming back to shock the world.
So Christopher, obviously back then you was looking at Dave Allen. If you did get the chance to come over to the UK, what current British fighters have you got your eye on? Because since then, Dave's announced his retirement from the sport.
Well, it's a few fighters that's on my wish list, including Dave Allen, because when he had heard that I was coming back without no contract, he said that if I am coming back, that he want to fight me, and he willing to fight me, for one time, just because I'm able to fight. He says I owe that to him, and he's willing to come out of retirement to fight me. So I said, okay, let's do it. But until he announces he's coming back, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm looking at Alen Babic, potential fight. Martin Bakole, somebody up in there, and those two are my main focus right now. Trying to get one of those guys, but really, whoever Matchroom wants to throw at me, I'm gonna eat them up. I'm gonna go get them, whoever they got. I'm not playing no game. So it's really how they want to structure it. If they want to start off with a hard fight, we could do that. If they want to start off with an easy fight to see what I'm about, we could do that too. Somebody got to be the sacrificial lamb. It don't matter. I'm ready.
Let's touch on the two names you mentioned there. Firstly, Alen Babic. What do you make of him? As for UK fans, they enjoy watching him because he's just aggressive, all action, just come forward, throws as many punches as is possible for himself. But what do you make of him? Because there's still people who question if he can naturally compete at heavyweight because of his size.
Well, boxing is boxing. He's an aggressive guy. You know, boxing is a lot mental. He doesn't seem like he's scared of nobody. He seems like he wants to smoke. So, you know, when I want to smoke and he wants to smoke, I think it'll be fireworks. As far as him going up in the rankings and going up against different competition, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows what the future may hold? But I know that's the kind of fighter I like. You know, that's what I want to be about. Because I'm not going to dance around the ring and jab you all day. You know, we're going to fight. I'm going to make you fight. And he seemed like he want to fight. So that'd be a good fight in my eyes. You know, a good fight for the fans, a good test for him. You know, I get to show everybody I can fight someone who's really, you know, undefeated, you know, and willing to fight me back. So I like that fight. And yeah, I like that fight.
And then obviously mentioning Martin Bakole there. Just your thoughts on Martin and what would be your thoughts if you two were to meet in the ring?
Well, I would just rush him. He don't seem like he like no contact. He want to sit back and jab as well. I'm gonna make him fight. That's just my style. It's just constant pressure. Whoever I fight, you know, and I don't see a lot of guys who really want to come with it and fight like that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna turn it into a street brawl. It's gonna be a bar fight. And like I say, he's been talking some stuff, you know, calling out Michael Hunter when you lost to Michael Hunter already. So, you know, Michael Hunter moving on to bigger and better things. So if you want to smoke, I'm 19-0. You know, we could do that.
Christopher, looking at the heavyweight scene now, when you consider all of the talk about some of the fights coming up, some potential fights, we've just seen some announcements coming out that Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have apparently agreed a 2-fight deal and signed on that. With all of these announcements, how great of a time is it to be a heavyweight, and how keen are you to capitalize on the momentum around the division and the potential opportunities that could lie ahead?
Man, the division's on fire. The sport is on fire. I'm grateful to be in the sport. I'm grateful to be in my prime. I'm grateful to be healthy. I'm grateful to have an undefeated record, you know, and I still got action. I getting all the belts, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no damage. I don't have no losses. You know, I can talk good. I look good. And I think I can fight with the best of them. So, you know, my potential is way up there. I got a high ceiling. You know, I'm not even in tip-top shape yet, you know. So, you know, give me a few more months and may come. And I'm ready, man. You know, it's wide open. You know, you got a few guys at the top, and everybody else is trying to figure it out. You know, no one really setting themselves apart. I'm really knock out some of those guys that's in the middle and get straight to the top.
I mean, that's
one
what
or two fights, I'm up there. 1 or 2.
That's what I was going to ask you about, Christopher. Obviously, looking at the current landscape, say AJ Fury goes ahead, they fight twice, world titles are tied up there. You've mentioned you want to reach the world scene. With that in mind, how do you go about it? Because it can be very difficult to position yourself to get an opportunity like that.
It actually won't be very difficult. Like I said, I'm 1 or 2 fights away from a world title. It's just position. I mean, once I really get this next fight, you know, then I'm in the door. You know, I'm in a rotation, and then my next fight would be like some type of eliminator, you know, something like that. You know, I'm going head first in this thing. It's no one else that they can really take. I mean, it's just a few people at the top for these belts. I'm right there.
Christopher, we mentioned fighters in the UK you'd like to face, or fighters who have fought in the UK who you'd like to face. But looking at this America, looking at stateside, is there anybody who you've got your eye on?
I'm the king out here. You know, I'm the king. I'm the top dog out here. Ain't no heavyweights messing me out here. I'm the top dog out here. That's why you interviewing me. That's why they all talking about me. I'm the top dog out here in the US.
Christopher, before I let you go, I just want to touch on a couple of other things. As I mentioned, AJ Fury, if that one does go ahead, if that is all kind of signed and sealed, your thoughts, who do you think wins? How do you think it plays out?
Well, I've answered this question maybe 50 or 100 times. It's a 50-50 battle in my eyes. The best two by far. You know, you got a good finisher, a good puncher, and AJ, you got a good skillful, defensive, slick, experienced guy in Fury. And you just got 2 big guys, 2 big titans, you know, and I think it can go either way. But if I could pick one, I got to get an edge to Fury. I got to get an edge to Fury because based on, you know, I judge fighters off their worst loss, off their worst fight. I would say Fury's worst fight will be when he got a draw against Wilder. And I compare that with AJ's worst fight, which would be his loss to Ruiz. Then you look at how they came back from their worst fight in my eyes. Tyson Fury came back in dramatic knockout fashion. against his worst fight in my eyes. AJ didn't come back dramatically after his worst fight in my eyes. You know, I think he just danced his way, protected himself, and rode to the end of the fight for a win. So I look at those two things. You know, the determination and Fury had, I'm going to knock this guy out. We're not leaving it to the judges. You know, I'm coming to get you. And I don't think AJ had that killer instinct to avenge his loss. So I think he'll be a little more cautious. You know, I think he'll just be patient. You know, obviously he's going to come prepared to fight, to go to 12 rounds. He'll be prepared. He'll be in shape. And I think he's just going to just box. You know, I think he's going to box. And I think that's where he'll mess up at. You know, I don't think that he'll be able to just box with Tyson Fury like that. I think Tyson Fury is a better boxer. Now, if he was to come and switch it up and bring some killer instinct and go for the knockout early, you know, Tyson might not be able to handle that kind of power. You know, he might not be able to handle those type of punches that much. But I don't think that'll be his strategy. I think he'll come out for box and prepare to go the distance. And I think that's where he'll fail at.
And another fight, I just want to get your thoughts on Alexander Usyk and Joe Joyce. Your thoughts?
Man, you know what? I never liked Joe Joyce. Every time he fought, I bet against him, you know, and those are my worst mistakes. I got to go with Joe Joyce. I got to go with the juggernaut. He, you know, he surprised me every time he fights. And I got to go with Joe Joyce over Usyk. I just have to. Usyk hasn't really proved to me that he's there to be a top heavyweight yet. You know, he hasn't proved that he can battle with the big guys. I got to go with Usyk, you know. He used to be my enemy. Now he's cool. I want to join his camp. So I got Big Joe Joyce.
Christopher, before I let you go, final word for your fans, for your haters. What would you like to say to them?
Y'all keep that same energy. I'm gonna see y'all in the middle of May. I'm taking over boxing. I'm taking over the division. Headed to love it. The underdogs on top. I'm gonna see y'all soon. Look, follow my Instagram. Get updated. Christopher Lovejoy. It's a J0Y at the end. Follow me on Twitter. Lovejoy Boxing. Y'all know who I am, man. Let's get it, man. WBA sensation. What's happening?
Christopher, a pleasure to talk to you for the first time. I'm sure it won't be the last. Stay safe, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
All right, bet. Let's get it.